Okay, let's begin our practice. So please sit comfortably and try to keep your back straight as much as possible. And gently close your eyes. Take a few deep, long breaths. Breathe in through your mouth. And breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Do it a couple of times to relax your body and your mind. Let go of the past and the future, and you are here in this present moment. And if you're having a hard time getting relaxed, just move a little bit, get comfortable. Try to observe each part of your body from top of your head to the tips of your toes to see if you're relaxed. Foundation of our practice is loving kindness practice. To develop love and compassion within ourselves and towards others. It's very important that we have love and compassion towards ourselves first. This will give you opportunity to practice, because throughout the practice you can get distracted. You might end up judging yourself and criticizing yourself for not being able to concentrate. That's why having that love and compassion towards yourself is so important. Sometimes we have a hard time developing love and compassion within self and towards ourselves, because we are too harsh on ourselves at times. I want you to imagine somebody in your life that you love the most. Just imagine a person or few that you love the most. Think about them for a minute. I'm sure your mind full of memories and what you talk and what you did. All these things come to your mind. Now, instead of thinking about the person, I want you to concentrate on the emotions and the feelings that you have towards that person. Because that same emotions and feelings that we have to develop towards ourselves. Think to yourself, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. May I be well, may I be happy, may I be peaceful. Now send your loving and kind thoughts towards your loved ones, your parents, your grandparents, your children, your husband, your wife. Think about them individually and send your loving and kind thoughts towards them also. May all my family members be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all my family members be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all my family members be well, be happy, be peaceful. Sometimes we have difficult people in our life, in our families, that is hard to develop love and compassion towards. Maybe because of your past experience, or maybe you don't like the way they talk to you, way they treat you. Keeping ill feelings towards someone that stays in your heart, not in their hearts. Forgiving is not for them, it's for you. So if you have someone that's hard to develop love and compassion, let's start sending them love also. It might be difficult at the beginning, but it's better to start. Send your loving and kind thoughts towards them if you have somebody difficult in your life. May they be well, may they be happy, and may they find peace. May they be well, may they be happy, may they find the peace within themselves. Finally, send your loving and kind thoughts towards all living beings, human beings, non-human beings, people who are suffering, animals who are suffering from natural disasters. People and animals, they are suffering from man-made disasters throughout the world. A lot of people struggles without food, without shelter. But we can send our love and compassion towards them. Send your loving and kind thoughts towards them also. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Now your hearts and minds full of love and compassion. Now we can slowly begin our mindfulness practice. Don't force your breath. Let it happen as usual. And start concentrating on your inhale and exhale. When you breathe in, understand and aware that you are breathing in. And when you breathe out, aware that you are breathing out. When you pay attention to your breathing, you will start to feel a subtle sensation on your breathing. Maybe tip of your the nose or back of your throat, probably inside the nostril, or it could be down in the belly. You can feel its arise with the in-breath and falls away with the out-breath. Without forcing, wherever you feel that sensation, and start to concentrate on that part of your body. while you're trying to concentrate on your breathing, you may realize that your mind is wandering. If you have a mind, it will wander. That's the nature of your mind. Don't try to stop your mind from having thoughts. That's impossible. Simply try to observe each and every time when you get distracted by your thoughts, and when you realize that you wandered away, acknowledge that your mind wandered away and gently bring your mind back to your breathing. This may happen many times during your practice. As many times it happens, please gently bring your attention back to your breathing and allow your breath to bring you to the present moment. Are you in the present moment? If you get distracted by your thoughts or a feeling or sensations, please bring your attention back to focusing on your breath and the present moment. Please bring your palms together in front of your hearts. Make a strong determination to practice this meditation every day, even for a short period of time if you can. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Please open your eyes. Thank you. Let's do the chanting. Let's start from page 4. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Anicca vata saṅkhārā uppada vaya dhammino. Uppajjitva nirujjanti tesaṃ upasamo sukho. Sabbe sattha avera hontu. Sabbe sattha abhyapajja hontu. Sabbe sattha anigga hontu. Sabbe sattha sukhi attanaṃ pariharantu. Pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya. Manasace paduttena vasati va karoti va. Tato nam dukkha manveti. Chakkaṃ vahā padang mano pubbangama dhamma mano settha mano maya manasace pasannena Vasati va karoti va tato nang sukha manveti chayava anapayini. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind made are they. Mind is the forerunner of all states. Mind is chief. Mind made are they. If with the clear, one should either speak or act. Happiness follows close by that, as one's shadow that never leaves. We believe in generosity towards others. We believe the skillful, noble path is marked by generosity. Believe generosity is the heart of our spiritual practice, and this practice allows us to become more open, accepting, and forgiving. We believe extending generosity to bring joy. My wish. May I become at all time, both now and forever, a protector for those who without protection, a guide for those who have lost their way, a ship for those with, a sanctuary for those who in danger, a place of refuge for those who lack of shelter. By means of these meritorial deeds, may I never join with the unwise, only the wise, until the time I attain nirvana. Sadhu. Okay. How was the practice? Good. So, in this my wish, there is a part say, may I never join with unwise, only the wise. I think that's a good start to our talk. When we live our life, it's hard to live alone since the day we born. We have to have a company. We are not like any other animals. If you say the reptiles or the crocodiles, they will come and lay their eggs and they go away. The eggs hatch, the baby comes out and he's going to find the way to live, the way of life. Most of the animals does that too. But for us human beings, from the second that we born, we need help in order to survive. From healthcare workers to they help us, then the mother or whoever is going to take care of them. We need that help in order for us to survive. Then we grew up to being the adults and living the life. So we have to deal with a lot of people. So that's also a part of the problem. How are we going to deal with all these people around us in a manner that it doesn't trouble us, it doesn't trouble the people around us. Especially someone who's practicing this path and the meditation and trying to better understanding themselves and trying to see the life in a different way, it's even harder because at times you will find you're probably the only one that is a little crazy to go into meditation, right? The rest aren't that crazy, and then it's really hard. And also we when we talk about dealing with difficult people in life, if they are far away, it's so much easier to just keep the distance. But sometimes we have difficult people in our close circles, in our families. Then we have to somehow find out how are we going to deal with these without troubling ourselves and them in a better way. One day, Venerable Ananda, who reached to Buddha and asked him a question, he said, the half of the Sangha or the Sasana or the teachings that exist and will exist and progress because of the noble friends. Isn't it? That's what he asked the Lord Buddha. And he said, no. He said, not the half of the Sasana and the teachings will exist because of the noble friend. The whole thing will exist because of the noble friendship. Because this journey it's kind of impossible for us to go by ourselves. We need our friends, we need our family. And my favorite and recent time that I found this concept called, it's an African concept called Ubuntu. It's really amazing. I don't know if you guys have heard. He called Desmond Tutu. He passed away, and he had a really good program with Dalai Lama, sharing the happiness and love. And that concept is Ubuntu. It simply means you are a person through another persons, and we are human beings from another human beings, the help of another human beings. We are not alone. I thought that was amazing. I said in many places this concept, especially to find a noble friend. So it's very important for us to stay in the path and to have a better understanding about life and to make it smoother in our life. So we have a different types of friends. That we have close friends, we have a long distance friends, we have so many different friends. But somehow we have to find someone or a group of them that have the same interest that we have, that want to share the same. But it's impossible because there aren't two people that think the same way because we all are different. Because when you talk about having the noble friendship, it's not a one-way street. It has to go the both ways. But most of the time, the question that asked from us is to someone who come to practice, see a little light in the tunnel and see the little difference, and they want to make the same difference to the other people so fast. It doesn't happen like it doesn't happen so fast. So how are we going to deal with these people, and how are we going to find somebody that noble to us, that has the same interest that we can share? My last year also, I was living with Bhante Sujata, which was a blessing because we both have the same interest, and when it comes to Dhamma, it's so much knowledge that I can gain, and then we with our practice we were able to talk the same things. Then the other day I was talking to him and I said, I understood about this saying that you have to find somebody that you like in your path, especially when it comes to the practice. In that path, that somebody can help you to stay in the path. Because whenever I have questions, I can go ask him to stay in this path. But if you don't have that same connection with your close friends and you pull into different directions, it's really hard. But that's the life. Because I had a couple of questions the other day that somebody came and asked me the question was that she's trying to practice for so long. She is practicing for so long, but her friends aren't doing this and they want to talk the gossips. And she asked me how I can not to involve with this. Because there are a couple of things that we have to correct ourselves, because when somebody pulling you to a different direction, most of the time the one who practice make a mistake of comparing ourselves. That's also ego, putting ourselves in a higher place. Oh, excuse me. I don't talk gossips anymore, so I'm in a better place. So you just put your ego up, but you have to find a different ways, because I cannot tell you the tricks for every situation you running into your life. I think Bhante Asaji knew I was going to say something about him, because he didn't sit here today, probably somewhere. I was going to say, like, if somebody talks too much, like he does, sometimes you have to ignore, or you have to pretend like you listen to him. And there are different ways that you can figure it out, because I cannot tell you exactly how to do to not to hurt their feelings, and yet to find the right path and to stay in the right path. There are and we all talking about having these noble friends, and sometimes it's also misunderstood that we have to have these noble friends in order for us to understand. That's also, I don't think that's true, because if you don't have somebody that you can find that the same likes and dislikes you have, it's better to be alone also. Because before we find all the other things, we have to be friends with ourselves. This is the most important thing. I've been reading a book called A Buddha's Brain recently, and that tells you, especially if you become a friend with your own self and understand, that's the best noble friend that you can find. Be friends with your own breathing. This meditation, the loving kindness and mindfulness, is not just started for no reason. There is a reason for to pay attention to our breathing, because the breathing is the life. Like if you really pay attention to, I gave you a lot of time today, like 8 to 9 minutes without disturbing you to see if you can keep that concentration. How did it go? Were you able to? Yeah, right? Don't lie to me, I know. So that's the part of the practice. I wanted you to feel that it is difficult, but it's it is possible. So that's the life. Because in life, like you try to concentrate on your breathing, it's going to keep changing. If you really pay attention to your breathing, you can see the subtle sensations, different sensations of the length of the breathing, and all these things you can feel. If you pay really deep into the attention to your breathing. If you really get into that, that also teach you the life. Because I always said, this is just the practice to your exercise, but real practice when you go out there. How much you put this practice into the life, especially dealing with other people, which is really hard, because most of the problems that people ask us is related to dealing with, most of the time dealing with someone else rather than dealing with ourselves. Because we all believe that if someone else get themselves better, then we are okay. They have to make themselves better. Most of the time, husband makes wife angry, and the wife make husband angry. But nobody realized they got angry. Nobody makes you angry. And I always said it's hard to fix the outside world because it's so big. Because when I come here, when I was little monk, I always worried about what you guys gonna think about my talk. And my teacher told me, if you start to worry about what they're gonna think about, you have a lot to worry about. Because there are a lot of people. Here is only like 20, 30, but in Sri Lanka, when you have a Dhamma talk, there are like 400 of them. At times, it's more than that. Imagine an 11-year-old monk that go there and trying to give them a talk, and I was thinking like, what that person is going to think about me, and what is she is going to think about me. And my teacher told me, don't worry about them, just worry about you. When he told me this, it makes me so mad. Because I did not understand what he was talking about. This is just every single day he tells me this. If I say something about somebody, only thing he said, oh, don't worry about them, just worry about you. But I understood later, what does that mean? Because once you correct yourself, once you are in peace with yourself, it's so much easier to deal with others. That's why a lot of the times we have a difficulty with dealing with other people, even though we would like to find a noble friends, which is really hard to find. That people have a same if you have somebody, congratulations, you are lucky, which is hard. So that's why practicing in a group also really helpful, because everybody have a same sort of energy that to want to have the same practice. That's why the group meditation also is really helping people to practice. So even though we would like to find a noble friend, if you don't have somebody, try to be a friend. That's another way. By be peace with yourself, that helps you to be a noble friend to someone else. Because we always think like, what can I get? Or instead of that, we can think like, what I can give. That's the same. When we chanting, I thought this is all makes sense. Sometimes we chant, just say the word, we don't pay attention sometimes. But if you really pay attention to everything says in this book, every single word makes sense. There are like hundreds of Dhamma talks given by a few words coming out from this book. So be friends with your own breath, because even if you be friends with somebody noble, that you cannot guarantee that they are going to be there for you. But one thing is, you can guarantee that you are there for yourself. Your breathing is there for yourself. So that's why in Western we misunderstand the loving ourselves to a selfishness, which is a totally different and totally misunderstood. But if you really understand within yourself that love and compassion, if you truly can become a noble friend to your own self, that's the biggest that you can do to practice this. Because at the end of the day, all these things we have to understand within ourselves. Like Buddha said, or in a Western way we can say, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can make him drink, right? So it's the same thing. We can have all these teachings, but yet you are the one responsible to have that. Because that's why at the beginning I said the loving kindness, sometimes we have a difficult people in our life, even though we try to find a noble friend, we have a difficult ones that even when you think about them make you mad, make you upset. But letting that go and forgiving and sending love and compassion is not for them, just for us, because we are the one who's carrying those emotions within us. So we have to let go. All these teachings are a combination, not just a one thing. It's all a combination. So be friend to yourself. Be a noble friend with your own breath, which is you have it all the time. And that through that you should be able to find the happiness and the joy and the noble friendship. So that's my message today. Does anybody have a question? I can just take if you have one. Very good. I always said the no question is really good. That means you understood everything or you didn't understand anything.